When a patient comes into the clinic and their main symptom is blurry night vision, one of the first possibilities that comes to my head that might cause that is astigmatism. Why does astigmatism cause extra blurry nighttime vision? And I'm going to show you something that you can do right now on your phone or your computer to determine if you might have astigmatism. Let's focus in. Now, the main refractive errors that most people have are nearsightedness, farsightedness, and astigmatism, with astigmatism being the worst word ever. It sounds like a serious disease, and it's usually the word that everybody remembers after they go to the eye doctor. You have astigmatism when one part of your eye is more curved than the other part of the eye. In fact, you'll hear doctors using the analogy still that, hey, your eye is shaped like a football and not a basketball. Your eye isn't perfectly round, it's not perfectly spherical. And this usually happens in either the cornea with corneal astigmatism or in the crystalline lens with lenticular astigmatism. Now, because you have this bend in your eyes bend light weird, and it doesn't focus to a single point. In fact, the word astigmatism means without point or without spot, meaning your eye doesn't focus to a nice single focus point. Instead, it has a stretched focal point. So because of this stretched focal point, people will notice that their vision is stretched out as well, especially lights. When they look at lights, maybe a round light might be shaped like an oval or have streaks or glare lights coming out of there. Also, they'll look at letters, maybe black letters on a white background, and notice that there's a shadow or a backdrop or a stretched appearance coming off of that letter as well. It will also cause the eye to not focus very well. It will constantly be trying to refocus, finding the best clarity in that stretched focal point. And this will cause the eyes to strain out, get tired, be blurry, and so sometimes will cause headaches. So why in the world is astigmatism worse at nighttime? At nighttime, our pupils need to dilate to let more light in. The pupils will get bigger, and it'll also catch more of that curve, that bend in the eye. And so you'll have more of those peripheral light rays coming in from the side that get bent weird and cause that focal stretch point to stretch out even farther. And that's why people notice the blur and the symptoms worse at nighttime, because their pupils are bigger, catching more of that bent cornea or lens. So a lot of times I'll hear when people are driving, they'll notice that lights, headlights, street lights, maybe Christmas lights during Christmas time will be stretched out. They'll have streaks coming out of it, more glare or halo patterns coming off of it, and their vision is just extra blurry. And so that's why when I hear that, my first thought, or one of my first thoughts, is astigmatism. Now, obviously, astigmatism isn't the only thing that can cause all those symptoms, so it's definitely best to get an eye exam if you are having these symptoms to make sure that it's astigmatism, and if it is astigmatism, you can get it corrected with glasses or contact lenses. And on the flip side, when pupils constrict and get smaller in bright light, then people might have clearer vision. They'll have less light streaks, less blur, and this is mainly because that pupil is blocking out that peripheral light rays that need to be bent kind of weird. It's just getting those central rays. And this is also why squinting can help people with astigmatism, is when they squint really bad, it's almost like constricting the pupil, or they're blocking those peripheral light rays to help them see better and focus better. It's cutting down those weird bent light rays from the curve in the eye. Now, if you have some of these symptoms and you're curious if you have astigmatism, one at-home test that's been around for a long time is called the dial test, the astigmatism dial test. I'll put a link to this in the description, but I'll also put it on the screen as I'm describing how it works, and we'll do this right now. So if you have it on your computer screen, look at the computer, or if you have it on your phone, hold it about 12 to 16 inches, kind of like if you're looking to read a book or looking at your texts. And what you're going to do is you're going to test one eye at a time. So cover one eye. Using the open eye, look in the middle of this dial, and if you notice any of those lines are darker, bolder, crisper, clearer, and then some other lines are maybe more grayed out or fuzzy, not as crisp on the edges, then you could have astigmatism. And then be sure to test the other eye as well. So if you wear glasses and you're not sure if you have astigmatism, see if you can find your prescription, and if you find the sphere-cylinder axis, sphere is nearsighted and farsightedness, cylinder is your astigmatism amount, and axis is where your curve is for your astigmatism. If by doing this you just found out that you have astigmatism, let me know in the comments. If you want to learn more about astigmatism, I go into more detail here in this video And definitely check out my other videos right here. I'm Dr. Neil Guymon, Dr. Eye Guy. Stay focused.